laugh at this next part.
In a world of political correctness and cancel culture, comedians have risen up to prove that with the right angle, anything can be funny. This is You Can't Laugh at That.
Who writes these? We should have this person locked up and looked at.
Live from Golden Ox Studios in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Steve Mers and David Horning. On this week's episode...
I looked at the phone, I was like, what the... I'm like, what is, like... I was like, who sent you this? And she's like, this boy in my class. In my head, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this don't look like a 15-year-old dick. This is like, I'm like, who is this? Look like a grown man. And so I didn't say anything, of course. I just immediately, David, I started sweating, just like sweating profusely. And I'm like, I just, this is my little girl, and I just went ahead and deleted it. I called the boy and I was like, don't send your dick to my daughter.
You can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/You Can't Laugh Pod. We post full unedited videos of these episodes that you can't find on any podcasting platform. Pretty soon we're going to start doing quick videos summing up these episodes that we've already done. And in the future, we're looking to bring in psychologists, humor experts, comedy club bookers for little mini episodes that will be exclusive to our Patreon. So patreon.com/You Can't Laugh Pod, become a patron and benefit from all of these extra funnies.
You can't laugh at that.
Cool.
Thanks for having me on, though.
Yeah, man. Of course. It's been something I've been trying to do since that COVID, that virtual show we did. That was weird, man. That was fun, though.
Right.
The only one I was a part of.
Yeah, I haven't done another virtual show since
I turned down like 3. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Me and Bill did one, and Michael Ivy, we did one for American Cancer Society a couple days ago, which was weird. It was the Zoom shows are always weird. It was funny because Bill started out, doing an older bit, and then he just played a recording of his laugh set from Hulu. He was just like, I'm just gonna do something different. Hit play.
What?
Oh
my God.
That's one way to do it.
Right.
All right.
And somebody messaged, I can't remember, somebody was on a group chat like, wait, he's not gonna perform live? I was cracking up. I was like, nope, this is his plan.
I don't need to try for this. You cancer people.
Isn't that our next podcast, right?
Yeah. The next episode we're doing is about cancer. So, yeah.
It's bad timing because of Chadwick.
I know, man. That sucks. Somebody tweeted, like, whatever you do, don't do a drawing of Kobe Bryant welcoming Chadwick into heaven.
No,
and then immediately people were just posting like, oh, it's already up. Like, somebody's already done it.
Yeah, I already saw that. But whatever. I mean,
yeah,
it's like you're going to have that. It's going to happen. You're going to see it on the internet. That's for sure.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to get them likes, them clicks. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about dick pics. Now, welcome to You Can't Laugh at That, the podcast where we take topics that you can't laugh at and find ways to make them funny in the never-ending quest to prove that everything can be funny. With me from space, as per usual, co-host Steve Mers.
Hey, what's up? I'm in an Elon Musk convertible.
Cool. How's that going up there?
It's good. It's got air conditioning, so
yeah,
I'm good. Yeah.
That's nice. That's how you get your oxygen flow. Where's it pulling the air from?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't figured this car out yet.
Tesla's an innovator, man.
It's quiet, though. I know that.
Yeah. The only reason I can hear you is because I'm on Earth, but if anyone else is in space, they can't hear you.
Right.
From what I'm told.
According to George Lucas.
Yeah. You can only hear explosions and lasers.
Right.
Joining us today on the podcast is the very funny Mike Head. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going
I
on?
like how you just started giving yourself a round of applause. Like, I deserve this. This is the culmination of your career right now.
Yeah.
It's all led up to this very moment in time. Mike Head is you're based out of Cleveland, right? I mean,
Based out of Cleveland, born and raised, on the playground is where. No, I'm sorry, but yeah, from here, based here. Yep, is what it is. Cleveland. I'm not going anywhere.
I mean that's the beauty of today's world, man. You can make money doing comedy from anywhere. You just gotta be putting out content, and put out content. You do. You got some great impressions. I mean, you dabbled in acting, been in a Lifetime movie. I watched that clip. So I mean, you got a pretty stacked resume.
A little bit. It's getting better.
Yeah, a little bit at a time. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to talk about yourself for a minute, introduce yourself to our listeners. For those of you who don't know Mike.
I don't know. What else? I think you said everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that wasn't was just the new thing on my resume was I was a finalist in the NBC Stand Up for Diversity, thing. That was
Oh yeah.
that was it. So that was pretty cool. Definitely.
And that's great, man. I listened to your episode of the Friday Late Show with Bruton.
Oh,
And that was fun. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't for you at the time, but I love a good bombing story. I guess.
Steve, you didn't hear that story. Did you hear that story, Steve?
No.
Listen to it, man. It's great.
Just listen to it. I don't want to talk about it now. I might start crying.
No, that's not the. We're not here to bring up bad memories, man. We're here to bring out good memories, like memories of dick pics. No, we're gonna play the clip, but if you want to introduce the clip, like where it's from, I don't know, whatever. Just introduce the clip, and then we'll get it going.
Yeah, this is a clip of me talking about my daughter receiving a dick pic. True story. My daughter's 17 now. She'll be 18 in April. And so this happened like 2 years ago. Yeah, she got a dick pic from a classmate, and here it is.
All right. We're not going to show you the dick pic.
We're not going to show the dick pic.
The way you introduce, here it is. Here's the dick pic.
Right.
Let's break it down. Let's talk about it in vivid detail.
Just last year, she got her first dick pic. Like, man, she showed it to me. That's how I like, she woke me up out of my nap. My after dinner nap. I just had some chicken Alfredo, so I was gonna fucking come. She's like, yeah, I think he sent me, I don't know what this is, but it's inappropriate. I think she's trying to scare me on something off YouTube or something. I'm like, who sent you this? It's one of my classmates. Are you sure he's 15? So I deleted it, just immediately. But and then I tried to go back and sleep, but I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, like Fred Cougar, dick pics. Yes. But she had an iPhone, trying to make sure it was all the way home. So, going down to the Apple store the next day, just peace. They're like, okay, sir, what's going on? What's the problem? What's the problem? It's a dick in my daughter's cloud. And I'm like, I see the president taking up a lot of stories from here.
There's a dick in my daughter's cloud. That's an album title right there.
Absolutely.
This is a funny sequence of words, man. It's just like a minute and a half bit, but you do a lot of things in there that I really like. I like how first you're mad that she woke you up from your after dinner nap.
Yeah, right. That's what
Like
old
that.
people say.
Yeah. Oh, sure. You overeat and then have to take a nap. Otherwise, you're done for the night, man. You don't want to be dozing off watching Jeopardy like a.
A woman.
So I like how it starts from that like groggy place of anger, and then she shows you the dick pic. Now, if like you're a dad, you know your daughter's 15.
Mm-hmm.
People are expecting you to be angry about it, but your first reaction is, "You sure he's 15?" Like, was that how you responded legitimately when she showed you? Like, take us through the actual story.
Like literally, I was laying in the bed, and she like burst into my room, and it's just like, "Dad, can you please?" Like, it was still like I could still see the downloading thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he had like warned her he was gonna send it to her, you know, and she just knew. I think she knew what it was gonna be, but she didn't want to. So she gave me the phone. I literally thought she was trying to scare me off something off YouTube. I'm like, "You're not gonna scare me." And I looked at the phone. I was like, "What the?" I'm like, "What is like?" I was like, "Who sent you this?" And she's like, "This boy in my class." In my head, I'm like, "Wait a minute." I'm like, "This don't look like a 15-year-old dick. This is like," I'm like, "Who is this? Look like a grown man." And so I didn't say anything. Of course, I just immediately, David, I started sweating, just like sweating profusely. And I'm like, I just, you know, this is my little girl, you know, and I just went ahead and deleted it. I called the boy, and I was like, "Don't send your dick to my daughter anymore, or so I'm gonna call the police and have you pulled up on like child pornography charges." He immediately just like stopped. He didn't call back or anything like that. And so I deleted it, and literally I tried to go back to sleep, but like that was real. Every time I closed my eyes, I like fucking saw his dick in my brain. I was just like, it was just etched in there. You know, I remember what color jogging pants he had on, like what hand he was holding it with, and everything. I was just like, "Oh my God!" And so I was like, I can't do this, man. This is just the roughest thing. And then, of course, like I was like, I got to talk about this on stage. And then I made up the part, you know, about going to the iPhone, like the Apple Store or whatever. So I just was like, you know what if I did go down there? And that's where the end of that bit came from. So yeah.
It's a funny progression. Sorry to bring up the PTSD, but oh, that's funny, man.
It was horrible. horrible experience. You guys don't have kids, do you?
No.
You know, hey, did you ever do that benefit show at the Lakewood Civic Auditorium a couple years ago for Jeff Davis? Were you there? I think you might have done that show. Yeah, I don't know if you were there or not, because I wasn't there for the whole show. So it was packed with comics. So I didn't know if you were on it. But Jeff Davis was a comic in town. He was a weird dude. He was a really weird dude, and he like skipped town and like disappeared because he was like a shady promoter, and like we all know those people. But he anyways, he like he randomly one day he was like a swinger, like him and he was always trying to get other comics to fuck his wife, you know. And so he actually asked John Bruton about that. But anyways, like we can edit that out. But
nope, it's there.
No, I don't know. But anyways, like, so because I've had both of them on my radio show before, and they were talking about it, I think. But anyways, Jeff Davis, one night I was editing a video for him because I filmed some shit for him, like at a show we did, and he was like, "Hey, you know, it'd be really funny if like in Fight Club you just randomly like showed one frame of my dick in the video." I'm like, "No," and I didn't know he was like, I thought he was just kidding. And then he sent me a dick pic, and then he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He like tried to play it off like it was a mistake, but he's just got weird kinks, I guess, or something. But he's like, he was like, "Oh, I was just flipping through my phone, and I just didn't know. Like, I just wanted to see if I even had a dick pic, and then I pressed it and I didn't know it was gonna send, and it just like sent, and I'm like, dude, you don't need to explain this to me. I already know you're a weirdo. So he sent me that dick pic, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I made a whole joke about it. Oh yeah, I just tell people, I'm like, well, there's a comic here in town. I'm not gonna say his name, but it starts with J and ends in F. Davis. But I mean, there's more to that joke, but I'm not gonna go through it. But yeah, that was my experience with. I didn't mean to derail this conversation. I don't know if we were still gonna talk about the story here, but
I knew you were chomping at the bit to tell that.
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever.
I like how he tried to play it off as a mistake. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally pulled up the picture, hit send, and then found your name, and then chose to send it to you. My thumb slipped like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it fell down the stairs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one out of the 3 of us who hasn't gotten a dick pic. So really, this is a learning experience for me. That's I wanted to learn what it's all about. So what's it like, guys?
You see why women are like, you see why they're so angry.
Yeah.
Or they can be,
15 though, like that's too young for that.
Man, the phones they changed the game, dude.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
They changed the game, man.
Yeah, people are aging way faster because of it. And it's not because of the 5G. It's because just access to everything, man.
I'm just like, damn, like I can't think or imagine having like just all the porn in the world, just in the palm of my hand at 14. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the closest I got to porn was the Sears catalog. All the women, the headshots of women in bras. That was it. That was what I had to look forward to. That was it. It's crazy, man.
Hey, Mom, did you get the Sears catalog? Okay, I'll check back tomorrow. Like you're just like going through the mailbox. Like,
oh, man.
There's a Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember those too.
Those Heidi Klum covers, man.
I think my favorite back then was Jody Watley in Playboy. I don't know if you ever got that issue. Whew, that was amazing. I remember like racing. I had never gotten a Playboy before, but I heard it on the radio. It was like Jody Watley's in this month's issue of. You guys remember Jody Watley, don't you? You remember Jody? Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I remember all kinds of other names, so it's not,
She was a
like
80s, like pop star, always on MTV. I think she was a host on MTV too at one point in time. But anyway, Google her, you'll see her.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
I remember when I was a kid, I saw the like second Leprechaun movie, and then I remember some girl like so just randomly in the movie, just like a little bit of gratuitous nudity, and I was like, oh my god! And then like me and my friend Matt would keep like renting like VHS tapes of like all these old 80s horror movies because they all had nudity in them, and we were like, and my mom would be like, Slumber Party Massacre, like. You know what I mean? Like she didn't even. I don't know if she caught on, like, because it was like, yeah, she knew, but it was just weird. It was hilarious.
Oh, she's a babe.
Cinemax, late night HBO, the softcore.
Yeah. Yep. Or if it was scrambled.
Oh right. Oh yeah.
Spice TV.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man, the good old days. I don't know how old you guys are, but I just remember when I was in college
and just like the ability, the first time you were able to like download porn and just how long it took,
Yeah.
you know, like you would literally have to hit download and go to class and then come back and you would
Yeah.
just see just a titty and that was it. You know what I mean? Like,
One low res
and it wasn't
picture.
even a real person. It was just like Janet Jackson's face on some white chick, and that like I'm saying like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Buffering. Like
Right.
download available in 3 hours and 52 minutes. Like
Yep.
Napster. I remember when Napster started doing videos, you could find like porn through Napster and like LimeWire.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wire. Man.
Kazaa,
Wow.
all those different streaming
Yeah.
or peer-to-peer music downloads. But now, man, you can just get a dick pic just sent to you without even asking for it. You just get porn without even asking for it.
Right.
Like I was watching a stream of John Oliver, and then just like a pop-up popped up, and it was just like titty, titty, titty. It's like, all right, that's I'm trying to laugh at the news, and I don't even want this. So I guess that's what it feels like to get a dick pic.
Right. Yeah.
A pop-up ad with titties.
Very shocking.
It is shocking when you're not expecting it. It's like, oh, I guess I'm horny now. All right. The dick pics, man. Yeah.
You guys get random nudes from chicks. Is that a thing in you guys' life?
Yeah, they're a lot more tasteful usually, you know, especially with like, they're like, I'm not sending my face. Like, this is going to get sent somewhere else.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like,
they're so tactful about it to make sure like nothing, like no moles to where you can identify them. No,
Yeah.
no tattoos. Just don't even care. It's just like our dog is in the background. Like
yeah.
there's a bill with our address and just everything. It's just we don't care.
Here's my social security number.
Yeah, right next to it for size comparison.
Yeah. 9 digits next to my 9 inches. It's like, no, that's not 9. There's a coffee cup right there. I can already tell the scale. You don't need that. But yeah, man. So I don't mean to hash into the detail, but it was just straight like, here's my dick. Like, no.
Oh, you're talking about my daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, to be honest, it was like 5 different angles. There were like 5 different pics that he sent to her. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like when I pulled it, they were like all downloading at the same time. And I just looked at the first one and I was just like, Jesus Christ, like these little dudes are just aggressive. And the crazy thing was like he was just sitting on his couch and like there was cartoons on in the background. Like I could see the picture of him like watching SpongeBob. And I was like, this is nuts.
All the different angles, like it's a blueprint.
Yeah, man. Right.
These are the schematics.
Oh man.
Oh man, as a dad too, you're like, I mean, there's like, all right, respect, but also don't do that.
Right. Oh man. Dude, I didn't even know what to say. I don't know why I was so nervous talking to him on the phone. I'm like, I felt like my heart was pounding when I dialed his number. And I just was like, why do I feel like I'm in trouble? Like, what's
Yeah.
It was just weird.
like you're calling him to ask him out. Like, all right, what do I say? What do I like? What?
Why am I was trying to get my script together before I called. I'm just like, I'm 40 years old, man. Like, what about like? It was wild.
And if this were when we were growing up, like his mom would pick up, like, hey, is is Michael there? Like, is he that? Can I talk to him? Like,
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, I would have gotten his mom on the phone. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's how it always worked. Like you said, like his mom would have answered, and I would have been like, "Your son just sent his dick to my daughter." But now everybody's just crazy. I hate cell phone.
Right. It's
Yeah.
they're like they make life so much easier, but at the same time, on the inverse, like they make it so much more difficult.
Yes.
So many new complications.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet back in the day people used to get dick photographs in the mail. Just like in a letter and like, oh, okay. And then you have to send it back. It's a long process.
Return to sender.
Yeah.
The sad part is I got to go through this one more time with one more daughter.
Yeah.
Now you're ready.
No, not ready.
He's not ready.
Yeah. You're never ready.
So how do you think they feel? You know, like just unsolicited. Here's a dick. All right, that's online dating at this point.
Right.
Right.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know how they could feel. I don't think they need to know how I feel and just how traumatized I was. I don't know. I'll never be able to explain until they have kids of their own. It's no telling what they'll be sending by that time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You should be a like a motivational speaker for high school boys.
Yeah.
Just detail the trauma, just like have some tears streaming down your face. Just really make an impact on their lives. I think you'd be good at that.
Probably. Right. That would be. Just threaten all of them.
That's how you should have opened the phone conversation. Listen, you piece of shit.
I was stuttering and shit. I'm thinking about the phone conversation right now. Like I was stuttering. I was talking quietly. Like my daughter was standing right there. It just was so awkward, man.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, how are you? Good. Oh, I'm not bad. Yeah. It's been a weird day. Oh yeah, why did I call you? Shit.
Yeah.
And also, fuck you.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Going through a phone conversation. Yeah, no, I've had a bad day too. Was your daughter mad about it?
Like nah, she wasn't. She wasn't mad. She just didn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So she just was like in just pure shock. And I'm pretty sure that was her first one because like her initial reaction was to come show her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
like I just know that wasn't her first one. After you gotten them a few times, I'm pretty sure she would, she wouldn't show me. You know what I mean? So now she has a boyfriend. I'm sure she's getting them. I'm sure she's not showing them to me anymore. I don't want to see them. But yeah, man, that's crazy.
Right, that would make like she brings them home, whatever.
Right,
like that makes it awkward.
Right, just like your art projects back in the day, just put them right on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Proud of my boy. But like, I mean, thank God she didn't date that dude because that would have made it awkward.
Right,
yeah, dude.
Like, you've talked to him on the phone. You've seen his picture before, so you know.
He just has this twinkle in his eye.
Right. Nah, he definitely couldn't come over for dinner.
Right.
No, not at all.
How quickly after that happened did you take it to the stage?
Pretty soon. I just had to, and I'm not like one of those guys that can just like take thoughts to a stage and just start working it out. Like I literally, all of my stuff is categorized and I type it out and write it out like damn near word for word. I just get my thoughts out better than just going on stage and taking a concept and just like, so the other day, and I just can't, I can't do that. Not yet, but like I said, like the writing works for me better. And so I wrote it out, and I tried it probably like 3 or 4 times at an open mic before I started really like figuring out like how to package it and stuff like that. And so yeah, yep. And then eventually, like, it took me a while to even add the end of the joke where I don't know if I said it on that one, but I said, you know, trust me, I've seen it. It's taken up, you know, a lot of storage. And so yeah, that kind of like developed after a while. But you know how you guys write a bit and you just keep, you're like, oh yeah, let's keep, you know, you keep piling it on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Oh shoot. I started, the first time I did it was in 2006. And then I got married in 2007, and I kind of like took a break because my wife wasn't really supportive of the comedy thing, and she just was like, "You're never gonna make it," and she was like, "You're a fake Will Smith," and all kind of like shit like that.
Damn.
And so yeah, and so I kind of like did it a couple times, and then like 2008, 2009ish, I just was like, all right, I'm gonna take it seriously. So it's been about like, you know, 12, 13 years, man, since I first started. Yeah. So
like really did it. Yeah, nothing like that support from your wife. Bye.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, seriously.
Right.
Yeah, no, if my girlfriend ever said that, I would be like, I don't even care how I'm gonna pay for this house, but you gotta go. Like that's how that would work. I can't not get on stage, man. It's like part of who I am. So I feel that for sure. So how long does it typically take you to decide, like from conception of idea to the stage? Like how do you like rehearse at home? Do you like just like how do you write?
Yeah, it first makes his way onto my computer, and then I work out a lot of my bits at home in front of the mirror in my bedroom, just kind of like pacing, just getting used to standing up and just like getting it out of my system. And then that's when I take it to the open mics or whatever, or I sandwich, you know, like if I'm headlining or featuring, I can kind of sandwich it in between, of course, like 2 strong bits. So that my set doesn't lose any momentum. But yeah, I'll keep trying it, like you said, the whole weekend, and then it kind of like, you know, takes a form of its own, you know, after a while. And so yeah, I usually try about 3 or 4 times at an open mic, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take it into my feature or headline set and see what happens, you know. Yeah, and that's how it usually works. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm finding too, like I write first, you know, I word for word too, and then it starts to like really materialize, and like I don't stick to a script. I don't know, you know, I mean there are certain parts where this word has to go here for it to like to have an impact, but you know, at this point, like, oh yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like we have a very similar writing style.
What about you, Steve?
Oh yeah, you know what I do is I used to rehearse jokes and it really worked. I just got out of the habit of doing it because I would hit open mics like 5 or 6 times a week before pandemic hit for like the last like 2 or 3 years. So I was like hitting it really hard. So I didn't really need to do that, but that really works though. I should be doing it still. I should be doing it now. But no, I'm very short form. I used to go longer with jokes, but they just had too much fat. So I'm more of like a one-liner comic that takes topics and then like compresses a bunch of one-liners about that topic. And then it becomes like a bit sort of, even though they're all one-liners. So.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing, man. Just learning how to trim, because I don't think I'm a storyteller. You know, I do some topics, and then I kind of just, I'm not a one-liner either, but it's just like I can't tell those great long stories. I've tried to do it, and it just does not work, man. I gotta kind of like get in there and then just like get out and go to the next thing, man. But I have to have to trim the fat off of my jokes because it's not. I lose people's attention, man, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
comedy
all
was
about laughs per minute. It's like,
Right.
you know, it's got to get just bam, bam. Like, yeah, for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Comedy was once described to me as writing down a bunch of words and then getting rid of a bunch of those words and then adding some words back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who said that?
I don't remember who's told me. I don't remember if it was in a podcast or somebody told it to me, but I heard it and I was like, that's really funny. I mean, if you you see those like tweets, it's like describe a movie in the most boring way possible. It's like describe comedy the most boring way possible. And it's, I mean, it's not wrong.
Right.
It's not how I would describe comedy to a beginner or an outsider, but I mean, it's one way to explain what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the beauty of it is there's so many different angles and different routes you can take to figuring out what's funny. And, taking something that, from a father's point of view, like you said, that's your little girl. And then all of a sudden she's getting like some other dude on her phone. To take that and to turn that into a tight bit like that. I mean, another way to describe comedy is a coping sort of a working out of what happened from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The Freddy crew, like just seeing it in your dreams, like that's, taking it even further. That's a really funny bit. And then describing it as Freddy Krueger of dick pics, like.
You know what? That was kind of just for me, I guess. It never really gets like, I mean, I get a lot of people like snickering at it.
Yeah.
But it was just that part. Sometimes you just like parts of your jokes that nobody else really likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that like you just like doing it just because it makes you crack up, and that's part of that for me. Like the Freddy Krueger of dick pics, I think that shit is hilarious, and it cracks me up every time I hear it on stage. And so it usually gets a laugh, but nothing like throughout the rest of the joke. Everybody's like, cracking up at the other stuff. But yeah, that's my favorite.
It's weird how that shit works too, because like some of my favorite things just don't really work that well. But dude, they're funny, and I know they're funny. Like, I'm not like delusional. Like people just don't get the specific, reference, I guess, or whatever. They just, it's like, fuck, why don't you understand how funny this is? But whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hear Freddy Krueger dick pics, and I just imagine, like, in my head, just seeing a dick and not being able to look away, and then just hearing that music, that like,
right,
from those movies, man.
Yeah, man.
And then I die. I don't know. That would be the worst last thing to see. That's for sure.
Right.
But you were saying like you made up the going down to the Verizon store or whatever, or the Apple store, and how do I get this dick like out of here? That's a funny, that kind of plays into the dad thing. Like I don't know how this shit works.
Right.
Help me, Verizon store.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, from the perspective of a dad, there's so many different ways you can take it.
Yeah. And I didn't want to be, I guess, I mean, you got to write where you are, and I do talk a lot about my daughters like the past few years because that has consumed my life. And then, but, I look at guys like Chad Daniels who talks about his family like 90% of the time, and it's flipping hilarious. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna just stick with this. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna talk more about my experiences as a dad, and me going to do hot yoga. I talk about that kind of stuff, and I've been a single dad for so long. I'm starting to do single mom shit. I talk about that. So it's stuff that like it's starting to just like kind of like pour out of me. You know what I mean? Because I was resisting it for a while because everybody was talking about this and getting into an Uber and I was drunk and I was high and I fucked this person and I was just like, well, maybe I need to write more jokes like that, but that's not where I am. And so you know,
Yeah.
being a dad and joking about it has helped me just develop my own voice, you know, and comedy. So yeah, it's been pretty cool.
That's a good approach for sure. I mean, that's, yeah, I'd say that's better. It's more marketable than just being like, yeah, I was drunk and high all the time. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit more marketable, you know what I mean? It's like, you can do all that stuff, but
that's what you know, that's what you see, you know, on, you know, a lot of the platforms and the, you know, the younger comics like that are coming up is, you know, Comedy Central. They're throwing a lot of these younger comics out there now, and you know, that's what they're talking about. You know, so I was high the other day, or I was this, and there's nothing wrong with it, but that's just kind of like, you know, what you're inundated with. You don't see a lot of, you know, the Jim Gaffikins and the Chad Daniels, and you know, that talk about their family, and even like I was watching Jerry Seinfeld's latest special. I was dying laughing, dude. Like, to me, it was just like genius to me. I don't like, and
yeah.
nobody was talking to it. Like, this shit was hilarious, dude.
Dude, I agree.
Even,
Very good.
man, it was so good, man. I watched it like 3 times, dude, and I was just amazed. I was like, this dude, he's the best. You know, he
Yeah.
took, you know, something so simple like going to eat at a buffet and just made it like it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, just simple stuff like that, you know, where you can get, it's just like you said, it's so marketable and unique. So,
Who else? There was another special that just came out. I forgot what it was though already. I'm a stoner. But I know well, Jerry's really funny because his shit's, yeah, like you said, it's really simple, mundane stuff where you think like, you're like, if you think of something like that, you're like, there's nothing there. But then he makes it a whole thing, like really fucking funny.
I like,
Dimitri Martin. Dimitri Martin had
Oh.
a special that came out. I didn't like him for years because he had like a bad stereotype where it was like, oh, he takes the spelling of something and rearranges it. Oh, it's something else, and now it's funny. And it's like,
Right.
I hated that for you. Or he had a show, and his show was kind of not funny to me.
Okay.
But dude, he came out with this special, and it was just like the Seinfeld special was like genius. And I was like, oh man, he's won my respect back over. I'm gonna like, yeah, for sure. So
Yeah. I also liked Neal Brennan's special. I thought that was, you know, genius as well. Just the you know, the comedy, and then the stories about him dealing with his depression, and then the one-liners. It was just like, my mind was blown. I was like, man, that was like, nobody has ever done that. You know what I mean?
right.
And it was so personal, you know, and yeah, just relatable. You know,
Was that the Three Mics
so
thing or whatever? What was that called?
yeah,
Yeah, that was really good.
yeah.
Really well
What's that
thought
one?
out.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And the common thread there is just like there's an authenticity to it. Like so many people, like you're saying, like talk about drugs and alcohol, and if you were to do that, like it wouldn't be you because that's not what you're going through at that time.
Yeah.
You know, and so many comics talk about being a dad, like you talk Chad Daniels, but you don't have the same style, you don't have the same experiences. So what you're going to come up with is totally unique to you. Like nobody else can do Mike Head's bit about his daughters and being a dad, not yoga. Like, you know, that's your experience with it.
Absolutely.
Now, like when we talk about Seinfeld and like buffets, it's just something simple like that, you know. And like, how do you find yourself mining material? Like when you take a simple topic like being a dad, you know, how do you like? There's kind of a momentum I found as a writer. Like I'll find one thing that's funny, and that'll lead me to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. Like, how do you find that?
Yeah. I sometimes, you know, which we all probably do. Like I always have my phone, and you know, you say something funny in the midst of a conversation, and I throw it in my notepad in my phone and just kind of try to develop it into something. You know what I mean? Sometimes, a lot of times, it doesn't go anywhere. You know, or I try to take that and see how it fits into an older bit. or under some, some subcategory that I've had before. And once I place it underneath there, I'm like, this is where I can go, so it kind of goes under that old adage of, the art of writing is rewriting, you know what I'm saying? So you go back and maybe structure an old bit, and before you know it, you've thrown away that old bit, and then you have this brand new, thing, you know what I'm saying? So, like I was doing, this LGBTQIA bit, that I used to do. And then it kind of morphed into this thing where I talk about, like transgenders and stuff like that. And I didn't want to touch the topic. It's just something I was thinking about. But then after a while, I don't even do this bit that I love to do. I just eventually just threw it out. And I was like, oh, okay, this is strong enough to stand on its own now, So yeah, that's usually, like my process.
I mostly don't sit down and write. Like, obviously we all kind of sit down and like rewrite stuff a little bit here and there. I don't really spend a lot of time sitting down. It's like little bits at a time, but most, like you said, like if it's something in a conversation or just when I'm out in the world, that's when I think of all the material. Cause I'm always trying to think of jokes, and it's like, I can't sit down and do it. It's just
really
gotta be based on shit I experience and see. It's like, I think a lot of people are like that though.
Now, do you sit down at your computer, Dave? Like, do you just like sit down and just start? I think you said you do. Like, you just sit down and just start kind of like typing, writing it out.
Yeah, I don't. So if I ever sit down and I'm like, I'm going to write jokes, nothing usually ever comes of that. But if I'm like, all right, I have this topic or this thing that I've been thinking about, let me just write down everything I can think of with that. And then I'll just write either at my computer or in a notebook. Something like I have a whiteboard up. Sometimes I'll just start writing on that like a mad scientist. But yeah, that's how my brain works. Like I can't use the same method for like recording things. So like sometimes I'll do it in my phone, or sometimes I'll just talk it out and then I'll listen back to it and start writing. Like, so I start with free associating and then I'll tighten it up into a story or a joke or a bit,
You guys should hear the voices I record into voice recorder. I don't even want to like play them for people. They're like ridiculous. Usually, one time I heard this crazy dude in Chicago and I started imitating him and I recorded it in my phone. He was like real conservative. He was like, Obama. And he was like, ugh. He sounded like Alex Jones, which reminds me, Alex Jones, probably crazy. Like,
yeah.
Beyond the like colloquial term of crazy, like actually crazy, because he's just the same way. He's doing that, and it's just like, ugh, so scary because you're the only other person on the bus with this guy, and it's like, so yeah.
Could you imagine going through life so angry that you have to get out a megaphone and yell at like high school kids who are working in a park?
Oh yeah, that was masks. So weird.
We lost Mike.
It's illegal. It's a private, or I forgot what he said. But
yeah,
I saw that too.
He was like, "All right, I've talked enough. This is it."
So we should just like wait because we're not really like.
We'll get back to dick pics. Yeah.
Right.
We'll get back to dick pics.
It's weird because it's a coincidence. I know me and Mike don't really cross paths at all. And there's a lot of coincidences in comedy where like parallel thinking. He was talking about like the dick being in a cloud. I don't know if you've ever heard me tell this joke. I've told it many times on stage, not as much as a lot of my normal material, but it was like, but yeah, there are so many, my similar joke was like, oh, there's so many dicks in the cloud. Think about all the dicks in the cloud. And then I'm like, you know what happens when there's too many dicks in the cloud? It starts raining dicks. And then like, that's my precipitation of penises joke. But because there's a lot of P's in there. I think I took that from John Wellington's writing groups he used to do way back in the day. He'd be like, and then we pushed our penises against the plexiglass. And he's like, it's really funny when you
those
repeat. Yeah, when you use alliteration or whatever. I don't know, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for alliteration.
Aaron, you got to make
photos of myself and Dick Goddard to ladies all the time, and like dick pic, not understanding what it's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me a dick pic. Send me a dick pic, and then I said I'm Dick Goddard.
When I lived in New York and my ex lived here, I was like, I'm going to send you a dick pic. And she was like, okay. And then I would send her pictures of like Richard Nixon and like Richard Branson and like, so same fucking stupid, hacky idea, but it was fun for me.
Right. Yeah, I am getting sick of people being like, oh yeah, I stole a joke. Like the only time I think people steal jokes is when it's like two comics in the same scene that you know they've seen you do that joke.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily that they took it. They just subconsciously like thought of the same joke, possibly. Like my Cosbypolitan joke was told on stage at East End. I'm not going to say who said it, but I got really mad about it. And I even purposely said, hey, I'm not going to out this person because I'm not trying to accuse them of anything, because you never know for sure how they came about with this material. I don't even know if they knew I was in the room. I don't know if they knew. I've had other comics blatantly steal things from me that I told them the day before, and then they tell it on stage. Again, not going to name names, but
so anybody who's still in the scene?
Yes, that's why I should just not tell you what the joke is. But
anybody in the Zoom chat?
No.
Is it me?
No, but there's a thing though, and I've seen this happen many times. Like very specific stuff. Very specific stuff. I had written a joke down years ago. It's on a Chipotle receipt that's dated for 2014. And then I heard another comic tell the exact same joke, which I've never told on stage. The exact same joke on Instagram, not on stage. It was like so specific, but you know that they did not take it from you. And so that proves without a shred of doubt that it's possible to have very specific jokes from two comics in the same scene, and it verifies it. Like it's so weird how that can happen. So I like talking about this topic because it's interesting how there's a dichotomy to it where, you know, some people steal, but a lot of people do not. And you got to be careful who you accuse.
Parallel thinking, yeah.
Well, I mean, like the age-old trope of like we're all pulling from the same reality, especially if we're in the same city. So the realities of the context of the reality is so immediate to the both of you.
Right. Yeah. You know how specific this one joke was? It was there's a larger bit I wrote, and it was all it was all really funny. But a specific part of it was I called ovaries inside balls. And like, you know, it may not seem that I mean, you get what I'm saying, but it's not like super funny out of context like that. But because it was a part of a larger bit where that was sort of like a tag to a bunch of other really funny stuff. But it was just really weird how like someone else said that shit and it like got a lot of attention on Instagram. And, you know, I was like, wow, so that works.
Yeah, inside balls is hilarious.
Right. But I'm not going to use it now. I just don't feel right doing it. It's not clearly, this is the thing. You can't, if someone says a joke that you wrote down, you never tried for like 6 years, you should probably just not start doing it now just because someone else did it and you think it works. Yeah. Like it should, there's two, and most of the reason is I just don't want to be accused of stealing jokes. Even though I have proof, I wrote it down on a receipt from 6 years ago. Because I'd have to be a pretty big psycho to find a receipt that's 6 years old somehow and then write that on there and then claim that I wrote it 6 years ago when in reality it's just, you know, it's like one of those things.
On the receipt?
Right, yeah. I wrote it on a receipt, which is so weird because it's time-stamped. It's real faded, too. It's crazy. It's like, it was in a book, too. It was real flat, you know? It's like, but whatever, you know?
I think you can pull that kind of crazy off, Steve. I believe in you.
Right. Talk about that's either just definitely is just what happened or I'm a complete psycho. So it's best to just drop it and just write new material, you know?
Yeah, a little bit of both. We're talking about stealing jokes and parallel thinking.
Yeah. That'll happen.
Yeah, God, Liz Blanc was telling about. Do you guys remember that story? Somebody stole one of her jokes, like her tri-C joke, word for word.
Yep.
Really?
And then used it to submit to festivals.
She did it at the Improv, I think.
Yeah.
For like one of those like Dave Swenson shows or something. And it's like, okay. People do that though. Or when they steal memes. Oh, that's the worst. Ugh. It's like, dude, we've all heard that meme on the internet. It's like everywhere. But, you know, people are desperate.
Wasn't Vince had that Hooters, like, Hooters delivery should be called knockers.
Oh, wait,
and the next day I saw that meme and I was like,
oh no.
And I've seen it in like multiple forms too.
Oh no. Well, again, that's a really simple joke. So it's like, it's possible you just thought of it, but you know, it's hard. I can't make that call, but
wow.
Happens so often that it's like a lot of times, you know, it's not even stolen because it's just so easy. And you're like, well, just try to stay away from the really easy stuff, even though it's like really funny.
Yeah.
If I'm going to steal a joke, I don't even bother switching out the name. Me, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. And they said to me, Jerry Seinfeld, what are you doing?
Yeah, you say it in that voice and everything.
Yeah. Like, you guys see the split screen and when they did the Amy Schumer, Patrice O'Neal thing? Like, did you see that when that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think about that?
Or, you know what? Was it a video where they do side by side? Because I saw a side by side of Schumer and then like a bunch of other comics. I don't think I saw the specific one with Patrice.
Yeah.
That and the Dane Cook one with Louis.
Daniel Tosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
And Sia, everything.
Yeah.
So much.
Well, Mencia was stealing jokes.
Right.
Was he?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
I always heard it, but I just never knew, like, or saw any proof. You know, I just was like, which jokes did he steal? Like, and who was he stealing them from? You know.
There's even jokes on Schumer's show that she did where it was like stuff from Mad TV from like 8 years before. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, where like very similar. The whole sketch premise was exactly the same as another thing that like Jordan Peele and like a bunch of other people did 8 years before that. So it's like, it was weird.
Yeah, Mencia took jokes from multiple people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like the Ari Shaffir joke about the fences or whatever, the ladder company or no, who's gonna build it? That was the joke. Who's gonna build it for the wall or the fence or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason you get blackballed. I mean, people it's a shitty thing to do. There's a reason Mencia went from having his own show on Comedy Central to headlining the Funny Stop.
Literally, I never knew he headlined the Funny Stop.
Yeah, like right before the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, like whatever Pete pays, like, there you go.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hard blow, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's what happens when you steal, man. It's karma.
Right.
But what's up with Amy? Like, her career seems to be taking off since she's like, she hasn't hit rock bottom yet, though, has she?
No.
Yeah, no.
She's got a baby now, though, so she hasn't really been doing anything.
And that cooking show with her husband.
Mm.
She pivoted. She got away pretty much from like doing like traditional style stand-up or sketch comedy to doing like a cooking show with her husband where she can kind of pepper in humor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Peppering in humor?
Yeah, it would be.
David, all right, I'm gonna let you guys get back at this podcast.
Yeah. Let's keep talking about dicks,
Just
you
keep
guys.
it in, Jeremy. Just keep that in.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll keep, I don't know. I'll edit. We'll see what happens.
Right. Well,
we'll see if there's anything worth keeping there.
Right.
Have you that we can just dive right back into the topic? Like, have you? I mean, dick pics. That's a topic that so many comics have touched on.
Yeah.
You know, it's so easy to like. I mean, we were talking parallel thinking and stealing jokes. Like, there's only so many angles you can take.
Yeah.
For a dick pic. Like I did one where it was a gender reveal joke. And it's like, you know, I like social media, but there's a double standard. Like a couple friends of mine posted a gender reveal. It was adorable. But if I post a gender reveal, I'm a sex offender.
Yeah.
And like, it's a one-liner, but you know, and I've heard similar jokes to that. So I like, sometimes it'll come out of it'll just come out of my mouth before I know that I'm saying it.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't write it into sets anymore.
I remember a time there was, you know, everybody was doing the Carfax joke with relationships. Do you remember that? I don't know if you guys remember that. Everybody was like, I wish there was a Carfax that showed me how many times my girl got rear-ended and blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, how many? You remember that, Steve? Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
I remember.
wow, how many comics are going to say this? Or when Obama was in office, you know, it was either a black or a white comic. They would say something to another race like, hey, let's make another Obama. You know,
Right.
just like,
yeah.
I can't remember how many times I heard that one. So,
Right.
Yeah,
oh,
so yeah, that was my unique twist on dick pics. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's your experience. You know.
Right.
Nobody can take that away from you.
That's what's great about those experiences where you're like, yeah, I have to make a joke about this, and no one can be like, well, but it's like, dude, that happened to me. So
yeah.
So there you go.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, most people take the dick pic angle from like the girl's point of view, you know, or the person who receives the dick pic. Like, I don't want this, or, you know, what are you thinking, guys? It's not hot. Or like, what angle do you take it from? Do you take it while it's flaccid? Do you like put something next to it for scale? Nobody sends a flaccid dick pic. Like, we've heard all those jokes before.
Yeah.
We've heard them all.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum.
Right.
So, you know, so that's why I appreciate yours is, you know, it's your daughter's the one that got it. And, you know, like that's a fresh perspective on it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Definitely.
Now what if that had been like a girlfriend or a wife? Like, how would you have responded to that? Like, how would that change the bit?
Oh shoot, I can't. Like, if it was my girlfriend that received a dick pic from somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, how do you respond? How? Yeah, that changes the whole bit, David.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Challenge.
A lot going on there.
There's a lot going on there. Yeah, I don't know how I would change that bit. You put me on the spot with that one.
I mean, it's like first of all, as a dude, you compare yours. I mean, you know, first and foremost, like that's the first thing.
That's the first thing I think I would probably put on and then just be like, let me see what's going on here. But I would be like, tell them to send another one and put a remote control next to it. So I can see, you know. So yeah.
that determines how mad I'm about to get.
Right. Exactly.
Or if it's like a substantial difference, like if it's like, oh shit, that's huge. Right. Like, damn. Like,
right.
Respect.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, baby, he can give you something I can't. You're free to go.
Exactly. Like, man, I'm tapping out. I can't even be mad at you. You know what I mean?
Like you said, class is over. You can go.
Right. Choose. It's like the old like choose which parent you're gonna stay with by telling your toddler to crawl to mommy or daddy. Like, who do you want to be with?
That's horrible. That is horrible. Choose mommy or daddy.
Which dick do you want, baby? Yeah, I mean, and that's how I look at something like this. Is there's so many different ways to take it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I sent you.
Like, yeah. Do you call the guy? Like, do you just be like, like I called the little boy. Like, what would I say to this dude? Especially if it was huge. Like, you don't want to argue with a dude with a big dick. You know what I mean? Like,
He's gonna take command of the conversation.
Yeah,
definitely. Because at the end of the day, his dick is still bigger than yours. You know what I mean? Like, he's still holding that big joker. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can say that's gonna change the momentum of the conversation.
Right.
Just what it is.
Yeah. You made it to the finals of the NBC contest. Okay.
Right. My dick is still
cool. Like,
right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening to this episode, I put my microphone into the shot. And that's about 7 inches. That's not. This doesn't write home about.
7 inches. That looks so much bigger than 7 inches.
I mean, hold on. Let me
get a remote.
Test
Dave.
it. Yeah.
Well, people listening. Wait a minute. Did he really just put on his dick? Like.
Yeah. For $4 a month, you can watch the whole episode on Patreon. For $4, it's like turning this into an OnlyFans.
That's why Mark Maron retweeted it.
Yeah, right. We should just mention that in every episode.
We should. I mean, that's how you get more listeners. Well,
retweeted by Mark Maron.
Didn't hear it, but he was like, "This is a good idea."
Yeah. Yeah, we did an episode where we talked about like all of his like the evolution of his perspective on religion throughout all of his specials. So and we tagged him on Twitter and he retweeted it and was like, "Oh, I'd be interested in here," or something like that. I don't know. So I was like, it's all right. I'm gonna take the whole week off. Mark Maron retweeted us. I made it. But
riding high.
That's right. That's right. Have you ever sent a dick pic?
Have I ever sent a dick pic? Of course.
Yeah. How about you, Steve?
Only
yes.
When asked.
Right.
Only when
asked.
There's an etiquette, man.
Yeah.
My joke is like if girls like if they I only send them if they're asked because I tell the Jeff Davis joke. I'm like and I'm like you always got to make it look good, right? So what I do to prepare is I always go into my walk-in freezer and then I look at a picture of Steve Buscemi. Like people get what I'm saying sometimes. That's one of those jokes where I'm like, I love that, but it's too specific. Some people don't know what I mean by that, but I'm like trying to let them put it together. Like obviously that's like the worst idea, but
right, exactly, right. Walk-in freezer. Yeah, only when asked I sent a dick pic. I've had girls FaceTime me and just be like, "Show me your dick." Like, very
That's
specific.
different.
They're so aggressive. They're way more aggressive than we are. Like, I think.
Yeah.
They just, they are, and we let them.
Do anything. They got power.
Yeah. I've been Me Too'd a couple times, so I'm not complaining though.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never sent. Have I? No. I've done like video chat, but no, I've never just been like, here's my dick.
Come on, man.
What?
Just gotta send it, man. Just send it to somebody.
I could just walk into the other room right now and pull it out, and that's it. Like my girlfriend. So like that's.
Oh, that's no fun. We got to pull a Jeff Davis and just send it to somebody randomly. Oh, I'm sorry.
My bad.
I didn't mean to post it group chat.
I think the weirdest thing is there's nothing flattering about what he sent me, which I thought was fucking hilarious. It's just like, and his giant beer gut. This giant beer gut. He's just like proud of it. I don't know. Whatever. Shit was hilarious.
That's hilarious, dude.
I want to send one the old-fashioned way. Like I
don't want to see your breakfast sausage, Jeff Davis. That's what I gotta say from now on. I gotta write that down. All right. So, anyways,
we are inspired to start writing again. Look at that.
Right. Yeah.
It's a very inside Cleveland comedy reference.
Call it Jimmy Dean. This is Jimmy Dean. Oh my god.
I can't believe he was like, oh, I didn't mean to send that. Do you think back in the 90s he would just mail them and be like, oh, that was an accident. I didn't mean to take these pictures, go to Walmart, get them developed, put them in an envelope, figure out your address, put it in the mail with a stamp on it.
Lick the envelope.
Yeah. Oh, I slipped.
Whoops.
My bad. Dick pics, man. They've been happening since ancient Greece. When it said back then they would sculpt them.
That's weird. Hey, you're on to something, David.
That's the first dick pic. Except they were always flaccid. Like they were never, if you think of Greek statues, like there was never one with just an erect penis.
Uncut. I have this theory that their emperor or what were like the leader, whatever they're called. I have this theory that they because their art, they were like, they thought small was good. They were like, that's preferable. And I thought that was weird because it's switched like in like recent times where it's like, I think that the leaders were like, yeah, I got a small dick and that's good. You guys are big dicks. You're all fucking weirdos. And so that became like a thing, even though like it was like, it's like all like, it's like Trump, he's like, he wants to set the standard. So It's like, no, this is normal. This is totally normal.
And if enough people agree with you, then it becomes part of culture.
Right.
So enough little dick dudes were like, that's how democracy started. They took a vote. They were like, all right, who's cool with having a little dick? Who thinks that's the best? And then women were like, we want to vote too. And they were like, you don't have a say in this.
Right.
This is our decision. And that's why Alexander the Great conquered so much of the world.
Yeah.
Like they got bigger dicks.
He had a complex.
Yeah, he did. You have a complex when you call yourself. If I were to walk around being like, hi, I'm David the Great.
Like, you're an asshole, David.
Yeah. Piece of shit. Like Ivan the Terrible. I mean, he didn't give himself that name.
No.
Right.
Vlad the Impaler. Ugh. That dude had a big dick. His name's Vlad the Impaler.
Right.
You
think vampires can send dick pics?
Oh man, the lighting's not good.
Yeah. Can't get that natural lighting, that's for sure. It's like, there's nothing here. It's like,
it's really pale.
Yeah, vampires.
I'll sink my teeth into that. Like, dude, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, this, they're not like they can't see their own reflection. Can they see themselves in their phone? Like, is that?
That's true.
None of these angles are good. I'm trying.
1, 2, 3 inches.
Where has this conversation gone? Talking about vampire dicks.
Hey, man. You chose dick pics. This could go anywhere. We could have talked about anything else. And you were like, nah, man.
Do we have any other clips? I thought we had like...
Yeah, I mean, we got a few other clips on dick pics that we could dive into. Do you guys want to do the Rachel Feinstein? Who else was there? Neal Brennan. Ooh, let's do Neal Brennan's since we already talked about him.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do the Neal Brennan dick pic bit, and then we could talk about that because we've gone off the rails. Vampire dicks, man. Do their dicks stay the same size when they become bats?
Yes.
I can't fly. Too heavy.
Payload, too heavy.
What about werewolves?
What about what?
Werewolves.
What about werewolf dicks? Is there a pink thing that comes out?
Yeah, it's a chapstick. Or lipstick or whatever.
Man, I would hate
emasculating. That's an emasculating way to describe a dick. It's a lipstick. It's like it's fucking gross.
Matches my skin tone. It's
man. Hey Jeremy, is the audio gonna be good on this one?
No woman on earth wants to look at her phone and see a picture of your dick. Yeah. Yeah. Ever. Our bodies are disgusting. They're not made to be photographed. That's what women's bodies are. Women's bodies are beautiful. They got curves and padding in their own cafeteria. They have a lot of... Our bodies are not made to attract women. Our bodies are made to see attractive women, chase them down with our superior speed, subdue them with our superior strength, try to make a baby. There we go. This is the face I made. So I'm single. No, I'm single. So girls will send me pictures of their boobs sometimes, and it's the best. It's the best. That never happens to my married guy friends. I shouldn't say it never happens. My married guy friends, their wives will send them pictures of their boobs, but it's always with a note that says, like, I think my rash is back. So girls will send me pictures of their boobs, and then I got to send something back, and this is about all we have to send. So, but fellas, women don't want that. So put something in the frame if you're going to take a picture of it that women actually like. Put like a scented candle down there. Or like a gift certificate for Sephora. Or like a bigger dick. Something. Women are sensual creatures, you understand me? So they don't want the organ. They want a hint of sexuality. So if you got abs, take a picture of your abs. You know what else women like? Women like this thing. Whatever this is, the ramp. Yeah. The on-ramp to Dick City. For the black girls, the D'Angelo muscle. Huh? Yeah, this is romantic. This is like The Notebook. This is A Walk to Remember. This is Alien 3.
okay. I like that angle. Like he did the whole, men versus women angle on it, but I like how he, make it romantic. If you're going to send a dick pic, make it romantic. Send like a well thought out love letter with your dick pic. Did you like what I sent you?
Authentic candle.
Authentic, yeah, that's a good one.
The on ramp to Dick City. That's hilarious.
He does a good job of visualizing it too. The D'Angelo muscle.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember that music video?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
remember
That's is that from like the late 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just D'Angelo naked.
Right.
Singing.
The whole
That's
video.
it. That's it. Like I want to be on that. I want to be on that in that pitch meeting. All right, here's what we were thinking. You just take off your clothes.
David? Oh, you froze.
Well, and that's what happened. Everybody was like, and what? No, that's it. You just take off your clothes and sing. Ladies will love it. People will be talking about it in podcasts 25 years from now.
All right.
Wait, what's a podcast? You'll see.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What is this?
Neal Brennan's bit was a little bit straightforward. We were just like, yep, that's yeah, cool. Like, yeah, no, that was funny. I like Neal Brennan. It's a really funny dude.
Yeah, he is. He's. God, I didn't realize like how far him and Chappelle went back. But did you listen to his Mark Twain Prize? Or was it Mark Twain, or was it the Kennedy Center?
I knew about that. I remember seeing him on Chappelle's show because he'd be like, "Hey, look, it's Neal," and then he'd be like, "Hey, I'm Neal," or whatever. Just like I didn't know he was a comic at the time, or maybe I don't know, but he was obviously co-writer of the show.
Right. I didn't know who the guy was.
They wrote Half Baked. That's what it was. That's how far back it goes, which is crazy because I was like a child. I was still a stoner, but I was like a kid, like a little kid, like 14. Like, I was like 6'3", but I wasn't like a 6'3" at 14, but still like a little kid, like a scrawny, you know, like, but so, dude, I loved that movie.
Oh, really?
Such a classic for a young stoner kid. Oh, dude, going back, I know this is a little off topic, but I love Men in Tights. That's when I first saw Chappelle, was Men in Tights. That was such a good movie. Yeah, exactly. It's the best part of the whole movie. Abe Lincoln. He's like, Abraham Lincoln. Like, no, Abe Lincoln. But yeah, that was good. Love that shit.
Damn. This is there were back before dick pics, man. A much simpler time.
Yep.
A much simpler time. Like, God, imagine in the future a historian trying to explain like what a dick pic is 100 years from now. Do you think people will forever be sending dick pics, or do you think culture is going to be woke enough to where like there's no unsolicited dick pics?
I don't know. I think dick pics might be here to stay. I don't know.
Timeless.
A timeless classic.
As long as there's dudes, it's gonna be dick pics.
I agree.
I mean,
like I said, they've been happening since ancient Greece.
The internet fucked up.
Yeah, man.
The internet is a bad idea, kind of.
I think it's an overcompensation. I don't know. Mad respect to somebody who sends a flaccid dick pic, though.
Right.
That's confidence. That is confidence.
Show her.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a grower. Doesn't. Yeah, like even I've never, like, I don't know. I just feel like no matter how long I date somebody, it's like, no, I want you to see me at my best. I don't know.
The thing is, it's like if you're gonna be with that girl anyways, it's not gonna matter. You know what I mean? So it's like, who cares? Like, but you are trying to make a good impression, trying to get to that next step.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whatever.
Now, neither of you, I mean, you've both said that you've never sent one unsolicited. Like, what do you think has to go through somebody's head? Like, it's almost like the cat calling of technology, but a little bit like it crosses the line. Like, what do you think goes through somebody's head when they send that? Do you think they really think?
Equal parts ego and hormones.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's my take.
I mean, do you think they expect it to work?
In a fear, in like a, just being like, men are horny, so they're not even thinking straight. So something you regret, I think. Like,
what about like Anthony Weiner?
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah. Carlos Danger, you mean?
Yeah. That's right. Name? That was his code name.
Famous Anthony Weiner. His name's Weiner, dude. Why? Why would you do that? It's too on the nose.
That's like my last name's Horning bit. Like, just lean into it.
Right. Yeah.
Just lean into it. Yeah. I guess. Some shit. I mean, you can't write. It's just there.
Right.
And he did it a second time.
Yeah, he did.
Was he? Who did he send it to? It was like an intern, right?
Dude, I think it was like an underage girl. Was it?
Yeah, that too, yeah. I thought it was an underage girl.
Dude. Yeah, I think so. That, or I don't know, I'm mixing up all these stories, but I think that's true, yeah.
Guys, stop sending your dicks to underage girls. If you're gonna send your dick, send it to an underage boy. I don't know.
What's crazy is it wasn't even explicit per se, where it was just a print of his, because they put it on the news. They didn't even go, hey, watch out. They just were like, or something like that. It was like, it wasn't like covered up or anything. Like, they didn't go, watch out, this is about to, like, they were just like, oh, look, this is a picture of him in his like boxer briefs. It's just like, he sends that, and yeah, it was, I don't know.
Famous dick pics in history.
Oh man, I don't know what he was thinking.
He got his whole face in it too.
Bad move.
Described by Pittsburgh Post-Gazette as an erection barely covered by a man's underwear.
Is that what it said? Did you just look that up?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, how'd you get such an accurate sounding
headline? It sounds like a trailer for a movie. Described by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette as an erection barely covered by men's underwear.
Yeah. And
by iPolitics as a man bulge in boxer briefs. Come see Anthony Weiner in Carlos Danger. It's like a
God, dude.
Wikipedia crushing it on their descriptions.
It's pronounced Weiner. Stop.
That's funny. All right. So famous dick pics in history. You can always talk about that. I mean, there's so many different angles to take on this. From the perspective of the father, from the perspective of the person who gets it, perspective of the person who sends it. I mean, historical dick pics. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk more about dick pics? This is the most I've ever talked about dicks in one setting in my entire life.
We've got to. Yeah, I think we've exhausted it.
Yeah,
to some degree. Do we have more clips?
Yeah, we do. We've got Jim Norton and Rachel Feinstein and Andrew Schultz. But which one do you guys want to hit first?
Oh man. Let's go with a woman's perspective.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna watch them all, so whatever.
Are we though? Let's just do this one. We're already over an hour, so yeah.
Yeah, play one.
Play it and let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
Give me a second.
I got a dick pic recently. I know. You never get a dick pic when you're expecting one. It's never like you're checking your inbox. Like, where the hell is that cock? It was supposed to be here 4 hours ago. That's why dick pics are hilarious. They're just very jarring. Just this rogue dick in the middle of your day. It's foolish. I was just looking at a beautiful tree, and then I saw it come in. I'm like, oh dear, there's a cock. It just snaps you back into things. I think they're hilarious because they're just so unnecessary. It's like we already know that dick is there if we choose to call upon it. We don't need like a dirty little reminder. And guys always look very stern for some reason. Whenever they send dick pics, they get very serious, you know? I don't know why you have to look like a principal while you're holding your dumb dick. That tool was just standing there just really letting me know I was in trouble, you know? It's different for you guys. Like, if you get a picture of a naked woman, that's exciting, you know? Because it means something important. It means that you might be inside of her soon, you know? It's good news. But yeah, we already know that dick is there. It's always just littered about. The street is littered with dicks. That's what I'm gonna call the special, by the way. Just the street is littered with dicks. Yeah, dick isn't important. That's why you can never use dick as an excuse. If you called up your friend and you were like late to his birthday dinner or something, you could be like, dude, I'm really sorry I'm late, but I think I'm gonna get some pussy. And he would understand, you know? But if I called up my friend on some important occasion in her life, some moment that she needed me to be there for her, and I was like, listen, I don't know if I'm able to make it tonight. It looks like I might be able to get my hands on some dick. She would be like, the street is littered with dicks.
The street is littered with dicks. That's a visual. It's an oversaturated market.
Abundance.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I don't know. I mean, that's the perspective that, you know, we expected, or at least I expected her to take on it, which it makes its point, you know. Ladies aren't hurting for dick. Dudes are hurting for pussy, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Like, even being in a relationship, I'm hurting for pussy. That's what happens when she moves in, guys. I know, Mike, you've been married, so you know, you can probably attest to that. But it's just like, it's just like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have a headache. Oh, I have to work in 2 days. It's like, all right.
To work in 2 days. I have to work in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I just gotta prepare myself, and I can't have any dick in the I feel like if I were to send her a dick pic, she'd just be like, what are you doing? Like, it would start a fight.
Right.
Why are you doing this? What? Mike, you realize that having that dick pic in your possession technically makes you a sex offender.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about that?
Well, like, could you mean? Don't say
could.
it is like.
The FBI is just gonna break down your door right now and start going through your computer for shit.
That's crazy how they flip the whole thing and just like, yeah, if you have something like that, I mean, kid or an adult, like you're a sex offender. You know what I mean? Like, you can be registered for sending a dick pic.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And then not even sending it, just like it popping up in your phone and you have it. You just like, it's, like some Austin Powers type shit. Like, it's not mine, baby. I swear, it's not mine.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. They completely changed the narrative on that one.
Sure.
But that's what I told her. That's what I told the boy. I was like, listen, man. I was like, you sending that means that I can call the police and have you arrested for child pornography. and I never heard from him again.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's is that considered sexual assault? Like if you send an unwanted dick pic and they report it?
Probably.
I don't know the semantics of that, but
I can see the cops not taking that seriously. I mean, you know, it's just what it is. That's just, we all know this. Yeah. Yeah.
See. Sexual assault. I'm looking it up.
Oh, yeah. I remember someone the other day was telling me, he's like, we were talking about like all this pedophilia shit going on in the news and everything. He's like, yeah, you know, they were saying that, you know, if you come across child porn on the internet, you have to report it. Like and I just remember thinking like, dude, that would be a hilarious sketch of like a guy being interrogated by the FBI. And they're like, you know, you're submitting a lot of child porn. You know, it's just like one of those things like, but it's like obvious he's just a weirdo. But yeah, dude, growing up, my neighbor next door, he got the feds showed up to his house, just tons of cars and lights, and they raided his house, took his computer, and he had like just like terabytes of like child porn on there. He was like a ringleader for like a whole Cuyahoga County, like Northeast Ohio, like sting operation.
Woof.
Yeah, so he's gone.
Good.
But yeah, that was messed up.
Did you see they just rescued like 36 kids in Georgia?
What? Where?
Yeah. I don't know where in
like,
Georgia.
I'm just trying to see if like anybody of note, like anybody, you know, like there's like a trail of like customers, you know, for the trafficking, like if they're like politicians and shit. Like I'm just waiting for one of those stories to break. I can't wait.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna happen.
Gwinnett. Is that how you say it? Or Gwinnett? But that's where it was in Georgia.
Wow.
That's crazy though. 36. I mean, good for them. They rescued all these kids.
Right.
You know, I mean, you don't hear about it when they rescue like one, but you know, they got the Sam's Club, they got the bulk package of kids. Right. I like that better. You know, just think about it. Like how many people just end up missing, like going missing. I mean, there are like thousands of cases just unsolved. It's crazy that we live in this insulated world.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I couldn't imagine having to worry about, you know, kids, man. So more power to you. You know, you seem like a good father, and you're a funny dude. We appreciate you taking the time and jumping on the podcast. I know we got a little off the rails talking about vampire dick pics, but I mean, just exploring the topic. Right. I've never thought about it this much. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go take the next few minutes and make sure I'm not gay now. I don't think that's how that works, but
yeah. No, you're good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. Dude. Any parting words, advice to somebody who's about to send a dick pic or tell a dick pic joke?
I really don't have any advice. Like, yeah, as far as what angle, you just don't take mine. Don't steal mine. That's all I can say. Yeah. Don't steal my dad joke.
Right.
Very personal.
Right.
That's a good one.
All right. We'll catch you. Do you want to plug any social media or plug anything?
Yeah, just, check out my YouTube channel. That's where I put all of my string of impressions and stuff. And, more than likely it's topical stuff. So yeah, just check that out. Share the videos. My website is mikeheadcomedy.com. My Instagram is comedian Mikehead, and my Facebook fan page is @MikeheadFunny. So yeah, you can follow me on there, man.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
All right. I think that's good. So yeah, from no matter how gross or inappropriate the topic, remember, you can laugh at that.
Right.
Yeah. Even if it's a dick pic. Man, that makes me insecure knowing that I'm telling people to laugh at my dick pics. All right. Cool. Thanks for jumping on again, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, any chance to talk shop, I'm always
All right. Yeah.
So cool.
Okay,
Man.
guys.
I know a couple of weeks we got a comic on. We're gonna talk about squirting. So that's
really? I didn't hear about
that. Paige Polesnik from Pittsburgh.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So God, I can only imagine the rabbit hole we fall down.
Dude, we're going down some weird. We've run out of like topics. Like
we're
not run out, but they're getting weirder and weirder. But like it's funny. It's funny.
Specific, man. Special thanks to Golden Ox Studio. You can find Golden Ox Studio for all your podcasting needs at goldenoxstudio.com. Hit up Jeremy. He is fantastic to work with, a professional. He makes podcasting easy. And if you've been kicking the tires on starting your own podcast, definitely give Golden Ox Studio a look.
If you'd like to weigh in on today's topic, follow us on Twitter at YouCan'tLaughPod, or like us on Facebook at You Can't Laugh at That, and tell us how you did laugh at today's topic or how you didn't. This is all about the conversation, is what I'm saying. All right. Bye.
You can't laugh at that.